our callers and get to all of them. Let's take the next one right now. Welcome, you're on the air with Jesus or Muhammad and Walid Shoebat.
Peace of Christ, Pastor Joseph and Brother David and Brother Walid.
God bless you.
Christian with you.
Welcome.
By the way, I don't know if you know my voice by now.
Yes. Welcome, dear brother.
Yeah, and Brother Walid, I think he knew my voice too, but maybe he did not know me because I saw some of my videos in his website about Islam.
Oh yes, you're one of my favorites. Yeah. I don't know your name though. I see your things and I love your work, and I don't know your name. I wish I could email you. Can you email me at walid@shoebat.com?
Sure. I would be happy actually to talk to you, brother. You're a great man and we support you, and feel free to use all my videos. All of them, they are yours, don't worry.
I love your work. My family enjoys watching your YouTube clips and everything else, especially the Kaaba one.
Yeah, and actually more to come. We are working hard, and we are doing even our day show exposing Islam in English. I have a comment, Brother Walid, about what you said regarding the good things in the Quran. You know, actually there's nothing good in the Quran, because if you go deep in details, you will see that the Quran has nothing good. Like as an example, the Quran says Islam is against adultery, but you can rape a Christian woman. Islam is against adultery, but you can't take a married woman to your bed. You kiss her, you touch her everywhere. This is called a lemon. It's a small sin, not a problem. Islam is against theft. But if you steal money from a Christian or a Jew, this is not a theft, because he is an unprotected person. Islam is against killing, as chapter 5, verse number 32 says. But Muhammad, he said, no Muslim will be, no blood of a Muslim will be shed for killing a kafir or an infidel or a Christian. So in outside, yes, there is something good you can see, but if you go deep in detail, you will see that this religion has zero good, all is ugly. But the outside might look good for some. At the same time, we need to mention something very important, usually we forget to mention, which is the abrogation. Like the verse you mentioned that there's no compulsion in Islam, this is an abrogated verse, and Muslims are not allowed to follow. Muhammad, he used it as a tactique. You know, it's a tactique in war. Like in the beginning, because I'm weak, I will say to you, I'm a peaceful man, I don't want to kill you, etc., you know, until I get the power, then I will stay you. So this is not really part of Islam. It was a tactique. This is why we should mention always that those verses exist in the Quran, it's true, but Muslims are not allowed to follow them, which means the Muslims, they use them now to deceive us, to fool the ones who have no knowledge of Islam, saying to them, you see, the Quran says, I have my religion, you have yours. But the fact, Islam don't say that. This is when Muhammad was weak, before he had peace and he had army. But after he had army, this verse exists in the Quran, but no Muslim is allowed to follow it. The chapter of the sword, I'm sure Brother Walid knew about it.
Yes, of course.
I don't think you were saying anything different from...
Yeah, we all agree. La ikraha fi din was part of Mansukha, the verses of the Mansukha. Everything was nusikhat bi'ayat al-sayf. We agree with that one. I think what I'm trying to get as a point is that the face value, if you read at face value, La ikraha fi din, it sounds good. But you see, that's at face value, and most Westerners don't understand what you presented very eloquently about the nasikh wal mansukh and the abrogation, and how Surah Al-Sayf abrogated all these peaceful verses in the Quran. But a person just reading the verse, he thinks, wow, that sounds really good. But I do agree with you 100%. I think we're both on the same page. I was just trying to make an example, that's all.
And regarding the book you're making, I think it's going to be a great book. There is something maybe I need to mention, that the name of Muhammad, one of his names, is the Prophet Rasul al-Arabi bi Mecca, the Prophet of the Arab in Mecca. If you calculate the numbers for those letters, according to the coding, it's going to be 200 plus 70 plus 30 plus 1 plus 30 plus 6 plus 60 plus 200 plus 2 plus 20 plus 40 plus 2 plus 5. The total is 666. This is the name of Muhammad according to the code. So even the code proves that Muhammad is an antichrist. And then again, if you go to the Bible, you will see that those who they are following this beast, they will have a sign in their forehead. And this is what the Muslims have. When the Muslims, they pray, when they put their head in the floor, there's a dark spot will be in their forehead.
Zabiba.
Yeah, you mentioned that already.
This is the Zabiba, right.
Christian Prince, I want to ask you a question, brother, because we have so many other callers, but we love your input. What do you think about the main thrust of Brother Walid's idea that Islam is the Antichrist system, and there'll be a literal Muslim who will become the Antichrist in the end times?
I have to agree with him, because everything, the Lord, He said that from their fruit you will know them. I think the fruit of Islam is very clear.
Yeah. Thank you, dear
The
brother.
point of the zabiba is very, very good. The Quran says, وَسِمَاهِمْ عَلَى وُجُوهِمْ مِنْ أَثَرِ السُّجُودِ. That means the evidence of their faith is upon their foreheads. This is why Muslims, you go to Egypt, and he's from Egypt, I believe from his accent is Egyptian. And you go to Egypt today, we find most of the men trying to get what's called zabiba on their foreheads, to show that they know the bigger the zabiba, the more faithful Muslim you are, a spot on the forehead.
Because you hit your head when you
that's
pray.
correct.
Yeah.
And that's correct. And in fact, I tell the security apparatus in the U.S., I said, you want to catch all the terrorists, look at the forehead. What are you talking about? I said, look at the forehead.
Yeah.
If a Muslim is shaven and he's going in the airport and his forehead has a zabiba, he's up to no good. Sometimes it's not 100% an accurate science, but hey, if you look at all the 17 hijackers of the, blew up the Twin Tower, they had zabibas on their foreheads. So I think it should be part of our security apparatus as well.
Well, now you're profiling. I don't know. Obama might not like that idea. Brother Christian Prince, thank you so much for calling. Please call us more regular, and especially when we have some of these Muslims who call in who don't know Arabic any better than I do, but try to make funny arguments from their limited knowledge of Arabic. We need you to call in and save us. So keep calling, brother. Thanks so much, and God bless you. All right. Very good. Well, I think we have some more callers. Why don't we take the next one right now? Welcome. You're on the air with Jesus or Muhammad and Walid Shoebat.
Hello. Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
My name is Steve. I've been watching the recordings of the show online, and I just thank God for you guys exposing Islam for what it is.
Thank you, brother.
I haven't really considered about Islam being the Antichrist, because Islam has its own concept of the Antichrist known as Dajjal.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I believe it's one person.
Okay.
And most Christians also say that Antichrist is one person, not an entire belief system.
There's two components for the Antichrist. There's the Antichrist himself, and then there's the Antichrist spirit, or the spirit of Antichrist, the spiritual parts of this mechanism of Antichrist, and there's also the actual governance of the Antichrist. So we have to look at all pieces of this puzzle. Right. So there is an individual, and if you look at the spiritual concept of what the Bible tells us about the Antichrist, he must deny the Father and the Son. This is an Arian heresy. Islam came out of the Arian heresy. Islam in reality is a Christian cult. Let's say Mormonism. Well, that's a Christian cult. Jehovah's Witness, that's a Christian cult. Because it latches on biblical things. They say we believe in the Bible, we believe in Jesus, we believe in these things mentioned in the Bible. But in reality, they corrupt the Bible. They corrupt the main concepts of the Bible. Jehovah's Witnesses deny that Jesus is God. Islam denies the Trinity, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Mormonism teaches that Jesus was the brother of Lucifer. So we reject Mormonism as a cult. So Antichrist, the spirit of Antichrist, is the mother of all cults. It's the largest cult in the world. And there is many reasons to believe it is a person, an individual. So, but if I asked you, what do you think Antichrist will be? Maybe you can tell me from your biblical knowledge, what's your concept of Antichrist?
A quick question for you, Steve. We're going to have to take a quick break, but I just want to ask Brother Walid, according to what you just mentioned, the Dajjal. Who is the Dajjal in your view?
Well, it's the one-eyed Antichrist that the Muslims concocted.
Right.
He will come leading the Jews and the Christians out of Jerusalem. When Jesus comes, basically, Israel will be saved.
Yeah.
Israel will be redeemed.
Yeah.
And the grafted in the Christians with Israel, the root, will basically be coming from Jerusalem.
So their view of Dajjal, you're saying, is actually going to be Jesus.
That's correct.
And so once again, we have that reverse.
That's correct. The Messiah, in their view, the Christ, in their view, will come out of Syria. You know, that's
Yeah.
the north. Well, the
Yeah.
Bible told us who comes from the north.
Yeah.
It's the Antichrist.
Excellent point.
So everything is in reverse. If you think in reverse, you got it right.
Brother Steve, thank you so much for your call. Hang in there, and perhaps if you've got more you want to share or ask, please call back again. The lines will be open. Thank you so much. We need to take a real short break, and we'll be back for the last quarter hour of our program. Let's take that break right now.
Jesus, hope of the nations. Jesus, comfort for all who mourn. You are the source of heaven's hope on earth. Jesus, light in the darkness. Jesus, truth in each circumstance. You are the source of heaven's light on earth. Jesus.
Praise God, talking about country ham and smoked pork. Man, that's something else. I'm sorry, Brother Walid. I'm from the South. I love that stuff, you know. I don't know, does pork figure into eschatology? You know, we have a joke, we talk about
It does figure in eschatology.
Does it really?
Yes, because the Muslims believe
Yeah.
that Jesus will kill the pig.
That's right, the swine. But is that the Jews? Is that what they're making, you know, pigs and monkeys?
Well, yeah, actually destroying basically our concept of Christianity.
Yeah.
But you know, they teach that... here's the interesting part. In Isaiah 45, it talks about bowing. Every knee will bow, every tongue will confess.
Okay.
In Isaiah chapter 45.
All right.
And look what bows. Bel bows.
Uh-huh.
In Isaiah 45, let me see.
So Bel, a false god.
No, Bel, Arthur Jeffrey, one of the greatest scholars in Islam, Bel is the crescent moon, the moon god.
Al-Hilal.
Al-Hilal, exactly. Bel bows, Nebo stoops.
Yeah.
See, in
Isaiah 46, verse 1.
46, verse 1. You see, and in 45, verse 24, that to me every knee will bow, every tongue will take an oath. In the New Testament, every knee will bow, every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord.
Amazing.
But most people don't go look at the Isaiah in the Old Testament, what it says about that. What also bows? The crescent bows. The crescent bows.
Yeah.
In other words, Islam believes in eschatology that when Jesus comes, he will break the cross.
Yeah.
Biksir salib.
Yeah.
He breaks the cross. When in reality, no, he breaks the crescent.
Excellent. Excellent.
He breaks the
Excellent.
crescent. And all the crescents will be removed. There'll be no more crescents anywhere. Muslims need to think about the crescent, the origin of the crescent.
Yeah.
That came from Babylon.
Yeah.
You know, why is it in every mosque? Why is
Yeah.
it in the high places?
That's a good
That's
question.
the same thing. The Ashira poles
Yeah.
with crescent
flags.
moons were there in the ancient pagan world.
Yeah.
Why
Amazing.
would they be adapting paganism? Why would they be bowing so many times a day towards a black stone? They say they don't worship the black stone. Okay, but why do you bow to something you don't worship?
Right.
In fact, in the book of Acts, chapter 19, verse 35,
Yeah.
do not worship Artemis and her image that fell from heaven.
Yeah.
The image that fell from heaven in Ephesus was a black stone.
Amazing.
So this image, a black stone, qualifies as an image. Remember in Revelation,
Yeah.
they will bow down to the image of the beast. A black stone qualifies. In other words, if you don't bow to the image of the beast, you'll be beheaded. That's exactly what Islam does.
There's a lot of information here, a lot of evidence to build Brother Walid's case. We have some callers, Brother Walid. We only have about 15 minutes left in this program. Now, we're going to try to take all of your calls in the next 15 minutes, if that's possible. If not, hang in there because we've had a change of course. We are going to continue this program after a short break at the end of this 15 minutes, and we will continue in English for our English viewers and callers. But we're going to try to get to those who are waiting right now in the next 15 minutes. Please make your questions, comments concise, and we'll do our best by God's grace to give you a concise and correct answer. All right? So let's